Welcome to LinkSpring's Edge Feature Update webinar. I'm Mark Peacock, Chief Marketing and Communication Officer. Thank you for joining us today. A couple housekeeping rules that I want to go over, or housekeeping points. Number one, yes, we are recording this, and the recording along with the PowerPoint presentation will be made available. Keneally will be sending out a link shortly after our broadcast today or first thing in the morning where you'll be able to access that. If you have questions, we would welcome any and all questions. Please use the chat function within the webinar platform, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we possibly can. So today, we're going to be covering a few topics. As noted here, we're going to be covering updates concerning Niagara 4.9 on our Genesis Edge portfolio, some new specific Edge updates that we have created. Jason is going to be demoing 3 distinct updates that we've just recently added to the portfolio. And then, as you can see, we're going question and answers. So let's begin. Let's get started. The movement to the edge and the use of IP-enabled devices is one of the biggest trends happening within the built environment today. Edge devices are contributing to a significant shift in the way we connect, process information, make decisions, and how we manage and operate buildings. LinkSpring's Edge-enabled portfolio blends the adaptability and flexibility of a range of IP programmable controllers with built-in and expandable I/O, and utilizes the same Niagara ProBuilder and Niagara Workbench software, Niagara 4 programming tools, and the FOX protocol you all are accustomed to. And the Genesis Edge portfolio enables you to redefine how Niagara can be utilized on projects. It also enables you to create what LinkSpring has named Niagara IP Horizontal Architecture. And now let's go ahead and get into the points and the updates. I'm going to turn it over to John Beals, who's project manager on our R&D team. John?
Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate that. And as Mark said, I am a project manager here at LinkSpring with the R&D team. And today, first off, I want to discuss some of the new features in Tritium's latest Niagara 4.9 release. And then we'll move on to talk about some of the feature enhancements that we've made for our own Genesis Edge controller product line. So Tritium's latest version of Niagara supports many new features that you may have seen released from Tritium. Some of these features worth mentioning are single sign-on. With Niagara as the identity provider, now you can jump between stations without re-authentication. Enhanced graphics with tag-based visualization. This feature allows you to use PX bindings to set up a GUI using semantic tags from your own dictionary. Niagara proxy service enhancements. HTTPS and enhanced authentication improves the IT compliance when proxy servers are required for your deployment. Niagara Security History Log. This new history log is focused on being able to monitor user access and security setting changes. And this vastly improves an enterprise's ability to monitor security events. Third-party module signing. This is another security enhancement that ensures that the code you load on your controller has not been tampered with in order to help prevent any malicious actors from attacking your system. And also, if you'll note that with the release of our LinkSpring Niagara modules, starting with 4.9 and beyond, they're all code signed with our own LinkSpring certificate now. Cloud connectivity. This feature makes use of AWS's MQTT driver support and a new JSON toolkit to make integrating your Niagara platform to a cloud host even easier. And finally, they have a cybersecurity update included in this release, and this helps ensure better TLS handshake handling in case of a timeout situation, which helps mitigate a potential vulnerability. Now let's move on to the Genesys Edge controller feature updates. During the last several months, our software developers here have been busy working to bring you several new product releases and feature enhancements. Here's some of the recent ones for our Genesys Edge controller line. Set date on Edge device at startup. In certain instances, if the real-time clock becomes unavailable, Niagara may not start or run correctly. So to correct this, we added a script that will check the system date timestamp and adjust the values as needed in order to start and run Niagara correctly. Factory reset. We made an update that will ensure that the field deployed controllers will be able to roll back to the original factory base state of Niagara 4.2 with no stations. The controller can then be upgraded and redeployed with the desired Niagara version. Next is system logs added to the SPI station. This is a feature that allows for convenient viewing of the current and history log files right from the platform administration view of the platform connection. This really helps to speed up troubleshooting issues. And next is the table of processes or top command was added to SPI station. This is a Linux top command that's usually run from the command line interface at the controller's operating system level, but now the output of that command is in Niagara and it shows the process consuming the most memory and CPU cycles right in the SPI utility page of the workbench. So that can be very useful to reveal problematic processes or just to confirm that the controller is performing at a nominal resource state. And maybe the biggest one is the NDIO and NRIO station converter. We know this has been a long sought after feature, especially if you have an older legacy J6 or similar legacy controller that you want to upgrade to a more modern Genesys Edge 534. Once converted, the stations and all the wire logic remains intact, preventing you from having to waste time reprogramming everything. And XM extender modules are always available to help handle extra IOs that may be needed. And the 534 allows you to utilize a physically smaller footprint in the cabinet. Now this station converter does not apply to limited licensed devices such as 414s and 514s. Next is cybersecurity. We added our own enhancement to ensure that there's a separation of our LinkSpring module libraries from the base level operating system in order to help ensure system access security. And of course, last but not least is the Niagara 4.9 support for our own custom modules. And all of Tridium's features that I described earlier are available in our version as well too. Now, Jason Mayo from our product support group is going to show us some of the screenshots and demo how some of these features will look like when you see them in the Niagara workbench.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Mark. And thanks for all the attendees today. My name's Jason. I do work on the support team with Peter, Donnie, and Kevin. And I just wanted to show you a few of the highlights of some of the interesting feature enhancements that we've added to this product. So the first thing I want to cover is accessing these updates. It's just like any of the previous updates that we've had for our Edge portfolio products, where you go to our resources.linkspring page and log in, and then you'll be able to select Genesys Edge and select the product that you have, and then you'll have access to all the different versions that are supported for each product. Inside the download that you get, there are instructions on how to access the file system that you need and also put the modules in the correct place and then perform the commissioning and the firmware update process. So inside that instructions document that you'll get in the download package, these instructions are essentially a two-step process here. First, arranging those files in the file system, and then commissioning and performing the Run Onyx update, that action that you're used to already performing. So those enhancements that John went over, those are all available on all these Edge portfolio products. The only exception would be the station converter tool that we use to take NDIO or NRIO networks and convert them to our own Onyx network. That is only available on the 534 line, so the Edge 534 N4, the Edge 534 4G, and as well the Edge 534 with Monet. The station converter tool I wanted to show you, it's real easy and only takes a few seconds. So you take your station that already has an NDIO network and device and points, and even points folders arranged the way you wanted them. And all you need to do is make sure you have an Onyx network, which you'll already do because you'll have commissioned your 534 device. You could still do this offline with an Onyx network. And then you'll discover your NDIO board from your network. Then the third step is to discover your own IO local to the Edge 534 and match them. So all you have to do is click on this NDIO board, click on which Onyx device you wanted it to map to for the IO, and then click import device, and it's really that simple. So you'll see all your input points, and you can select what type they need to be. So this is showing you the voltage input points for each one, and they come in exactly how you had them set up before. So whatever they were in the NDIO network, they will also be configured that way in the Onyx network under the Edge device. The wire sheet will remain intact. The arrangement that you had, that you customized for the wire sheet will have to be rearranged, but all the links between them and any folders will all stay intact without error. The next enhancement that I wanted to demonstrate to you all was the Onyx platform diagnostics we've added to the SPY tool. So many of you already are used to either yourself or us in product support helping you navigate to your station SPY just by right-clicking the station icon in the nav tree and then choosing SPY. And then we've added this Onyx platform diagnostics, which allows some of those things that John was revealing. So the system logs that you're used to seeing in an 8000 or 6000, instead of those being in the platform administration view of a platform connection, they've moved here to the SPY and the Onyx platform diagnostics page. So this top command is what John was alluding to, showing you the processes and CPU usage of each process. So that's an interesting tool that we can all see now, and I imagine in product support at times, depending on what you call in or email in about, we might ask for a snapshot of that. It's a great piece of information to have in troubleshooting. And with that, I will leave it there.
Thanks, Jason. Well, we've got a couple questions, and again, I encourage if anybody's got some questions to go ahead and enter it into the chat function, but we've got a couple questions. I'm going to take the first two, and then there's a couple more here, Jason and or John. I'd appreciate it if you guys could chime in on it. The first question, as I said, that I will take: does LinkSpring intend to support most all future releases of Niagara 4, such as 4.10, 4.11, 4.12, and so on, for the Edge product line? The answer to that is absolutely yes. We intend is to support any and all future releases of Niagara 4. Second question is, during the course of your Edge-enabled products, I have tried some of your Edge applications that you made available. Do you intend to issue and put out more EACs? And the answer is yes. We actually have several right now in development that our professional services team are working on. And hopefully in the not too distant future, we'll be making an announcement that future Edge-centric applications will in fact be available to continually enhance the Edge product line. Next question is, I guess, Jason, this might be one for you. can my customer's AX Edge 534 be upgraded to include these updates?
Thanks, Mark. This is Jason. Yeah, I can take that. The answer to that is no. We don't have the ability to upgrade the hardware with the base image remotely. So bringing that device up to an N4 version would require a hardware change to essentially purchase the Edge 534 N4 product. And we do have a trade-up program currently going on, which would help.
Yeah, and just a reminder about that. That's a good point, Jason. A reminder about that trade-up program. There is some special pricing incentives, again, available now until December 15. And again, AX, as we all know, has been EOL'd or end of life. And beginning July 2021 is another key time to remember, where AX is basically completely end of life. There will be some limited support, but now's a good time to go ahead and consider upgrading from AX to N4, those opportunities that you do have. Next question is the following. Does the station converter tool take a long time? Jason or John?
This is Jason. I can take that one as well. In testing, we could not find a station robust enough to take more than a few seconds. So I don't expect that to be an issue for anyone.
Good. And one more. Does LinkSpring have intentions to continually develop additional controllers and products on this whole Edge to Enterprise platform and the Edge platform? I'll go ahead and take that one. And very simply, yes. I will encourage our audience, if there are certain applications you would like to see, if there are products you would like to see, add-ons, value add things to our whole Edge product line, email me, mark.peacock@linkspring.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we would love to get your input. So please feel free to reach out to us and go from there. I think that's it for today. I believe that we've covered everything that we had to cover, but some useful reach outs, marketing@linkspring.com and support@linkspring.com. We thank you for your participation, and feel free to reach out to us. And as I mentioned, we will have these posted in the near future on resources for you to access for future references. So again, thank you. Enjoy your day.